Hey, Mr. Smith here. So here's one of the last videos for you, so hopefully help you in your work. So this is one where you're designing your simulation, so we'll step it through. Okay, so the things you need to do when you're designing your simulation is you need to state which tool you're using, refer to the tool video for that one. You need to define how many numbers you will generate for each trial, define what is classed as a success and which is not, and give examples of those. I'll show you that in a moment. You're going to decide on how many trials you're going to do, and you're going to determine how you're going to record your results. So we're going to step through all of those things just now. So first of all, state your tool, how you're going to generate your probabilities. As I said, there's a video on selecting a tool that you can look at in more detail. Okay, so you need to define the number of attempts per trial. So you need to read the situation really carefully. So the trial might mimic a week, maybe that's 5 or 7 days, or maybe there's some other amount that's stated for you. So it might say there are 10 or 20. So let's just have a look at a couple of examples. If you read along carefully here, it says the school is running a competition for the end of year social. In theory, there are an unlimited number of tickets that can be won, but each student can only win one ticket. Okay, so there's some important stuff there. It says each student can swap a maximum of 20 cards per ticket for a chance to winning a ticket. So there you go. So that means that your total number of attempts per trial has a maximum of 20. Quite clearly stated there. Maybe if we look at this next one about the Nemo situation where you're collecting 4 letters, the competition runs over 10 weeks. So there's your clue that you are only going to be doing 10 attempts per trial. So you also need to define a successful outcome. So what do you class as being success? So you'll write something like a successful outcome is when a failed trial will be when. So you need to state what those are. So and give some examples. So in this case, a successful outcome for this police trial is when you get 2 police turn up within that trial, and an unsuccessful one is when you have fewer than 2 police. So there are my 2 examples, and I've put them down the bottom there, where you can see trial 1, we had police turn up twice, the 2 P's that you can see down the bottom, and then that's successful out of the 5 attempts. Whereas the other one, there's only 1 P, so that was an unsuccessful trial. So you want to state what parameters constitute a success and give examples of the success. So in another example, it might be when all tokens are found within 7 attempts. So that might be what you write. So this is crazy simple, this one. You just need to say how many trials you're going to do. Remembering that a lower number of trials means that you're going to have you'll be less reliable. You're going to have big differences in your results compared to other people. So your estimates will be less reliable. So we try to keep the number of trials reasonable, a reasonable amount, at least 30. Don't want to take up 3 hours just doing your simulation. But we can't have like 15 because your estimates will be way too unreliable to draw any conclusions from. So yeah, I'd say at least 30, but you've got to remember there's a compromise between having reliable estimates and the time it's going to take you. The last thing you really need to do is you need to determine how you're going to record your data. This is the format that I would suggest you use all the time. You have trials in the left-hand corner. You write random numbers and then a tally to keep track of how many you've done. That's just so you don't get confused. If you're collecting symbols, you want to put a symbol in there. So before it was the police, maybe if in the Finding Nemo situation, you'd write the letters that you collect as you go. And then you finally, in that column, you've got whether or not you were successful over that trial or not. And you write the number of attempts it took you in order to be successful. Did you get it in the first 4, or did it take you all 20? So that's what you need to write in those. So that format that you've got written there should work for just about every single scenario. So use that. Okay, and just to recap, you remember you've got to state your tool, define how many numbers you're going to generate, define what a successful outcome is, decide how many trials you're going to do, and determine how you're going to record your results. And that's it. Remember, bed never stops.